Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from all over the world, welcome back to Huobi Global Live. My name is Darko, your host this evening, and tonight we are joined by the fabulous Dr. Ran from ETHF. Dr. Ran, welcome to Huobi Global Live. How are you feeling this fine evening?
Feeling great, my bro. Thank you for the invitation. I'm really happy and thrilled to be here with all these global fans from Huobi ecosystem. Glad to be here.
And thank you for coming on board. You're looking very cool, very slick, very suave. I like your style.
Very Web3, right? Very Web3.
Very Web3 against all the odds, which is awesome. And big shout outs to everybody watching in the official Huobi Global app and on YouTube and on Facebook Live and anywhere else where you may be watching from that I might not be aware of. Please smash that like button and let us know which country you are watching from. So, Dr. Ran, tonight I have a series of questions I intend on picking your brain with. But before we get into that, first, could you please give us a little bit of a background on yourself and how you got into crypto and maybe why?
Sure. So, I'm from the developer background. I hold a PhD degree in artificial intelligence.
Oh, wow.
That's my job 15 years ago. And I'm from the core team of ETHF ecosystem. So I create a couple of AI companies and mainly in Silicon Valley and Asian Pacific Rim. And also I have a track record of building early stage blockchain business from layer 1, from DeFi to Web3. So I always seek to disrupt and keeps innovation. That's why I'm here, because I found that blockchain plays is really something that you can keep innovating. You can keep innovating. You can build some infra that everyone can benefit from that permissionless. So that's why I'm so into this, and I think that's the same reason that you are here, right?
Why is it that when you said you like to do things that disrupt, I had a vision of you at parties, disrupting parties for some reason.
Well, party is part of the Web3. It's only part of the Web3, right? Basically, I'm always asking myself, how many people you really need to provide a bank that can serve everyone, right? So we know that the traditional financial system, they are huge, they are stable, they are somehow efficient and somehow not that efficient. I see Ethereum is a huge computer, global computer, right? I think that's Vitalik's vision, and I totally agree with him. But think about how many developers are working for Ethereum, and how many are the core developers compared to any modern bank in US. I believe they have at least 5,000 developers to maintain that system. In Ethereum, 100, 500 minimum. So it's like you are doing the same great thing with 1% of the human. That's the beauty of the code.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. So you've got quite a bit of experience up your sleeve, and you have a lot to bring to the industry, going by what you just told us about your background. So that's pretty interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah, wow. Very, very, very good. Now, what I want to get your opinion on first is the state of the world, the global economy. We have inflation going up, we have markets are going down, even though right now the crypto market is sort of bouncing back as we speak, right, as of time of this stream right now. But again, it's highly volatile. A lot of people are unsure of what to do. Should they buy? Should they sell? Should they hold? Others are panic selling. Some few people are buying discount prices, and other people are just holding on and just don't know what to do. And some are just switching off, forgetting about it, and they don't see what lies for the future of crypto right now because of everything that's going on. So what's your take on the state of the world right now, and inflation, and people minimizing their risks by selling off their investments, maybe at a loss in a lot of cases? So what's your take on all of this, the state of the world, and how soon do you see it getting better, in your opinion?
Well, I would really love to answer this question with high confidence, because I'm maybe qualified for the Nobel Prize next year.
Oh.
Right? So right now, I'm just showing my 2 cents or my 2 G-Way.
That's it.
I think it's cycles, right? It's cycles, and behind the cycles, there are the consensus. Like, what are the assets that holds your value capture, and that is really under your control. That's something that I really mentioned. I'm not pointing to some countries in the globe, but there are some things happening at every single minute that someone just take the money from you. It never belongs to you. In terms of inflation, in terms of deflation, in terms of instability of the financial systems, like the ratio of foreign currencies. So my first suggestion is that let's just hold that what you really have full control is, right? So if the asset is not at your hand, if you don't have the key, you don't have the passcode, then it might not really belonging to you. That's my first question. Number two is that according to my limited experience, I've been this for 5-7 years, seeing a couple of cycles. Right now, it's the best time to collect your assets and to keep building. Because why? Some people say, hey, I just pretend I didn't see anything, and some good things may happen. That never happened. That never happened to me. So you're gonna get really prepared. How? You keep learning, and you keep yourself fresh and wet in the market.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Number three is that always follow to credible KOLs, and don't trust too much on official media. Follow young guys like you. Maybe it's like more sensitive to the market change.
Please don't listen to anything I say, people. But you're right. You're right. Don't go out there listening to what YouTubers tell you to do, because a lot of those YouTubers out there are just in it for pumps and dumps, and a lot of us have seen it happen. So, and I've seen as well on places like Telegram, people are accusing certain YouTubers. I'm not talking about myself, but other ones that because of them they lost money because they did what the YouTuber told them to do. And I saw this just a few days ago, actually, again, in a certain Telegram community, and they accused that YouTuber of being to blame for them losing so much money on, I think it was ETH, I think they were talking about.
That's really nasty, wow.
And I just jumped in there. I don't normally get involved, I don't have time, but I couldn't resist this time, and I said, the only person you have to blame is yourself if you allow yourself to make decisions based on what other people tell you. So, yeah, we should all take responsibility for our own actions. I mean,
yes.
Yeah. So, it's all about researching as well in crypto. Like, you really need to study the space properly, inside out. Me personally, bro, I was studying crypto for at least 6 months before I even spent my first dollar. And I was studying it for 6 months religiously, day in, day out, morning and night, because I wanted to make sure I knew what I was getting myself into. Whereas other people just come on board because their friend got rich overnight on some pump and dump, and they think they can do it too, and they enter, they lose all their money, and then they start playing the blame game. The blame game. So that's not how crypto is, unfortunately. So what time frame do you think roughly we'll start to see some positivity in the global market? Just your opinion.
In my opinion, in regular world, I'm seeing if we see any like a peace deal or something, then the whole global supply chain will come to act normal, and the gas price could be a little bit lower or much lower, so that everyone can afford to this winter. That's for the real world. For the crypto world, I'm betting like there will be a big, like 10 times more users, mass adoption.
Nice.
From Web3 and GameFi, yeah. Because, we've been in this area for many years, and for miners, there's only like a couple of 10,000 people all over the world. For DeFi, maybe 5 million to 15 million, but we have like 7 billion people all around the world.
Yeah.
Right? So if you have 10%, that's still like 700 million. Right now, they are still off the rim to participate in crypto. So Web3 definitely will be a potential horizon for 10 times of more users to come, to build, to participate, and to create value on top of that.
I hope you're
That's
right.
my guess.
I hope you're right.
I'm hoping like end of this year or next year, but who knows? But for me, I'm a programmer, so I'm a scientist background, so I just keep building.
Okay, nice, awesome.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
tonight we're going to be touching on proof of work. So for the Huobi Global audience out there, I know a lot of people know what it is, but for the people who don't know what it is, and on YouTube as well, could you maybe touch on a bit about proof of work, maybe in simple terms for the people watching who don't know, who aren't aware? POW, proof of work, as we call it.
Sure. I can go really deep, but before that, let me give a very simple example. So PoW is kind of engineering effort that you consume electricity. You use some hardware, either CPU or GPU or ASIC, and you calculate some, let's say, a very hard to calculate random number. So the random number is super long. That it will take you a couple of seconds or a couple of minutes to calculate that. And keep in mind that at the same time, there could be like 1,000 computers or 1,000,000 computers doing the same thing. So one of the lucky guy first get like, okay, my random number, it's like less than, say, number 1. And he was picked, and okay, you were awarded by this to generate this block. That's the 1 minute elevator pitch to explain what is PoW, especially when we have PoW and POS and all kinds of other consensus here. So this activity consumes energy, consumes computational power. It's a random process, generates some random numbers so that there is a probability that you may get enrolled to be one of the nodes to generate this to validate this transaction.
And sometimes the difficulty can change from time to time as well, based on volume in some cases.
Yes, based on the number of transactions, the complexity of the transactions, and also how many people or how many machines are in this pool to calculate the same thing. Right? So it's a very dynamic equation that controls the equilibrium of this decentralization and the computation process.
And a lot of people argue that proof of work is more decentralized than proof of staking. Do you agree with this term?
Yes and no. So I know there's a lot of arguments still going on. Last time I have a talk with Vitalik. We specifically discuss about this. If we are talking about, if we put like a POS and PoW on the same table, then my observation right now is yes, PoW is more decentralized than the POS. Being that, to give a very typical example for everyone to understand this is that if you want to do something bad for the blockchain, a PoW blockchain, theoretically, you need to find all these 51% of computers, find how are they, where are they, and talk to them. Hey, let's do something really bad. Right? That will take a lot of time to locate this 51% of computers or 51% of nodes.
It can be very expensive too, right?
You have to travel, right? That's the one of the examples. But literally, it's not like that because we have the PoW big tools to do this. Just like POS, like right now, even though like everyone is taking 32 is to be qualified as a validator, but most of them goes to Coinbase, Kraken, and continuously growing Lido, continuously growing to the institutions or some protocols that they have an institution in somewhere, say North America, right? So that's pretty much the current comparison between the PoW and the POS for decentralization. That's why ETHF, that's us.
Yep.
We want to create a layer 1 based on PoW to maintain this security and decentralization for Ethereum, because think about that, it's a huge computer. Like we expect many people are participate on that. So we want to make sure that your assets is safe.
Yeah, so we're about to get into the juicy details about ETHF shortly. But before we do that, just quickly, what are your thoughts on ETC, ETHW, other chains, layer 2, layer 3s in comparison? Where do you stand with all of these? Like, let me know your thoughts, please. I'm very curious.
I would say that this is a lot of developers and engineers and maybe economists or designers or product designers. They want to create a very complicated, decentralized, and asynchronized computing system to do some simple things, such as let's keep a ledger, right? So a lot of chains was created. No matter they claim they are doing whatever fancy stuff, the number one task that they have to do this, sound and safe, is to keep your assets safe. It's to keep the ledger safe.
Yeah.
Right. The ledger is the only thing. It's not in some, say, secure place. It's some of them are in very unsecured place. But the overall system, can achieve in such a stable way that attacking this or doing something bad on top of that will be extremely hard in terms of time and the cost. It's not 100% impossible. It's possible. It's likely. It's just the cost to do this. When you have a sufficiently decentralized blockchain, layer 1 blockchain, the cost will be extremely high.
Yeah, it won't be worth it, will it? Really, in theory.
Yeah, so why you want to do that, right? If you want to do that, what do you get? Like you spend a lot of time, or you spend a lot of mileage, or like POS.
Because there are just bad people out there.
You just claim that it's not like that. But yeah, there are different ways to this. This is just a start. But a lot of genius people and engineers like us, we are working hard to make this more safe and more stable. We are not saying that we want to make innovation every day. Some of the technologies, as long as it's stable, it's good, right? Stability is the first important thing. Security, decentralization. That's something that I think not just the ETHF, but also all the engineers, it's trying hard in blockchain to build.
Oh, definitely. So what exactly is your role in ETHF, and can you explain ETHF to the people who are hearing about it for the very first time?
Sure. So ETHF is an Ethereum fork initialized by our core team. We started to prepare this 4 years ago, and this happened exactly on the same block height that merge block. That's why we claim we announced ourselves. We established ourselves as the first PoW forked Ethereum after the merge.
Oh, nice.
We know that we have ETC before the merge. We have some other ones such as ETHW. We have like chats with all the engineers around, and I believe 3 of this we may see more coming. So 3 of us, ideally, I'm seeing to take like 10% of the Ethereum market. That's right now. That's like about like a 4 billion something market. And I'm pretty confident that Ethereum will go really big, like 1,000 billion market value very soon. And then that's like 100 billion for PoW based ones, because PoW has its value, because number one, very simple. That's the only consensus system that has a track record with with more than 10 years. That's the only one.
So
right? So for all the others, you need some time to prove. And I think for every user, if I have really valuable assets on chain, safety is the first.
So this has been in the works for 4 years, did you say?
For 4 years, because everyone's talking about the merge this year, which happened this year, 2 weeks ago. But actually, Vitalik starts to announce this 4 years ago. And we start to prepare this 4 years ago.
Wow.
It's a long journey.
Wow.
I myself participate in this core team very soon, last month. But this whole team is preparing this. Engineers, we have like 100 engineers global-wise. Some of them are preparing this for 4 years.
I just had a vision in my head as you were talking about it. I could just picture all of you in the office, and then you're waiting for the merge to happen, and then you've done everything you need to do. You're all set. You're all good to go, and then finally, after all these years, the announcement of the merge comes. And everybody's scratching their heads like, oh, why are we here again? We've forgotten. Because it's been that long.
No, I hope so. But no, the truth is that actually, first, this is a very decentralized team. We have people in Europe, in Singapore, in North America, 100 developers. So we don't have an office to do this. Right? Number two is that not us doing the fork. Everything's on the code. Everything's on the code.
Yeah.
Song and all the other chief engineers, they run testing weeks after weeks, even before the merge. And actually, to show you a truth, on the day of the merge, we actually didn't do anything because we don't need to do anything. Everything is automatic. As soon as the Ethereum block hits that magic number, the 1.5 something, the fork will happen. So just stay there.
Yes. So coming from ETHF, what exactly is your stance? Your stance on ETHW? Or you don't want to say?
Sure. It's fine. We are friends. We are friends. We also wish ETFW and ETHW and ETC big success. But we take different approach. In ETHF, we are more technical based. So we want to make sure that this execution of code happens exactly on that block height, not a little bit, not even one single block ahead, not even one single block behind, because this will change the states on the blockchain, right? So we respect the assets of every user, permissionless on chain, and we want to keep exactly the same state. That's like everyone's balance, transaction, your NFT on the OpenSea, the state is for sale or not for sale, we keep everything. And so far, as far as I know, that's the only chain that keeps everything on Ethereum after the merge.
So when you say you're more technical than ETHW, what you mean is you're smarter than them, right?
I'm saying kind of. I respect my dear engineering friend from ETHW, but creating a fork right on the block height, it's not easy. It's not easy because easier way will be either you take the fork before the fork and say, okay, I don't care the last 4 blocks or block heights, and you guys do whatever you want, but this is what I want to do, and right now I'm on my own. Even easier way is that okay, maybe I'm going to follow Ethereum mainnet for 2 more days, see what is going on. Are they safe? Are they anything wrong with that? And now I'll do this. Business considering, from the perspective of business considering, these 2 approaches are easier, but we take the harder one because the only untouched state transition exists on that specific block. Everything before or after will have some difference. Maybe that's only like 1 million, 1 out of a million state change. The users affected. We don't want that happen. We don't want to. We only want 1-to-1 asset state capture on that block. So I'm pretty sure that a lot of people can do that, but for us, we spend a lot of time. It's trust me, engineering wise, it's not easy. We take tests every week, 4 weeks before that. We do our internal testing 4 times before the merge. So when you ask, hey, Dr. Ran, what you guys doing? At least I know our engineers just stay there because everything's already tested and it's code runs the fork, not us.
So
not our engineers.
So when the announcement was made that, all right, it's going to be on this block height, this is it, it's happening, was there like panic or excitement with your team? How was the feeling as soon as you heard there was, a time and a rough date now confirmed, as opposed to all the delays that we all got so used to hearing?
Yeah, it's mixed. I have to be honest with you. It's very mixed. Because we respect Ethereum, we respect Vitalik. Personally, we have meetups and we have discussions like once a while. But it's like even anytime before the merge, nobody can predict 100% that this is going to happen. And we know that Ethereum is doing very cool job. And the ecosystem, the creation of the DeFi, layer 2, layer 3, we learned a lot from that. And right now, I think it's after the merge, it's time for us to build our own and pay back. to the community.
When the time came,
a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, so especially in the last 24, 48 hours, what was the feeling like then? Was it more nervousness or more excitement?
Very nervous, because we are worried about too many things.
Yeah.
For ecosystem, what I care is that how many miners are participating, how many developers are joining, and what are the media's reaction to us, because we know that a lot of protocols and KOLs, they mention a lot. There's a hot discussion of what after the merge, what will happen after the merge, right? Eventually, after a couple of weeks, we got first connected by some of the exchanges like Huobi or some other ones. They say, hey, looks like you guys are doing good. I said, yeah, of course we are doing good. So we started to do, because we didn't even use any media announcement before the merge. We are very low key, because we just want to enjoy the moment, because we know that after this very specific block, everything will change, and everything has changed.
So what was your biggest fear that could go wrong, or was the actual fearing the unknown and not knowing what might go wrong?
It's like, number one, we are a little bit worried that this merge could not be successful. But after observing the Ethereum Foundation, the developer work, we are pretty confident that 99%, but still not 100%. Right? Number two is that after that, we know that someday we are going to go out and talk to everyone and say, hey, there is a PoW version of Ethereum that it has a cute name of ETHF, because we want to create a fair ecosystem for everyone, fair in terms of permissionless, in terms of security for your assets. Right? So that's a lot of things that it's not we are working behind Vitalik. It's like we are side by side, and sometimes we compete. We want to take 10% minimum of the market, and that's that's we believe like a PoW and a POS is not the end of one of them. It will be a long journey for both of them to compete and to collaborate.
So for the people who are not sure, how does ETH differ from ETHF?
You mean what's your question again?
So for the people who are not sure, how does ETH differ from ETHF?
Okay, it's different in a couple of ways. The very important one is that there are two, right now, as of today, there are two totally different layer ones. They use different layer one tokens. One of them is called ETH, the other is called ETHF. They are two totally different tokens, even though they looks like they are from the same family, and one of them is the prince, or some like the designated one, but they are two different layer ones. Number one. Number two is that both of them are also are growing layer 2 and layer 3, because to make Ethereum or to make ETHF a global computer that millions of users collaborate with each other, we need a lot of scalability, and the scalability comes with layer 1, layer 2, and layer 3. We cannot say this is just a PoW. We just layer 1, in terms of my view, it only saves the most the most valuable assets on layer 1, right? So you don't have to save every, like your GameFi transactions on layer 1. It's waste of resource and it's waste of gas. And because your assets on layer 1 is very valuable, that's why we need a PoW. Because even though I'm from the technical background, the only thing that is proven to be working with safe is PoW for 10 years. You need another 10 years to prove all the other POS chains, or at least 5 years, right? Let's see.
True, good
right?
point.
And also, we are not against this. We are working for decentralized layer 2 or even centralized layer 2, layer 3 to grow the ecosystem. So the scalability and the ecosystem will keep growing. We also set aside like a good portion of the grant for the ecosystem to encourage innovation, to bring more protocols to us. Not only DeFi, but also GameFi, Web3, NFT. We welcome everyone.
Okay, awesome. So moving forward, what's the vision for ETHF? For, again, the people who are interested. So what can they expect from the future of ETHF? What's the vision? How does it?
The vision is that we want to create a ecosystem that has the PoW based proven track record layer 1 and a very scalable layer 2, layer 3 with our continuing innovation in PoW related upgrades for this layer 1 ecosystem. We want to combine these three to create a pretty big computer that helps everyone to take the assets on chain and engage them for composability and for value capture.
Okay. Now, I have a question in the live chat from Huobi Global, the app.
Yes, please.
Now, Zeus Prim is asking, anyone know if this is the name change, ETF to ETHF? After complete, it will be the same wallet address, or will it be a different one?
Okay, so long story short, please come to our official social media or to Huobi app to to connect to the right wallet. So right now we announced the official chain ID and RPC on our official Twitter and all the exchanges that work with us.
Where can we find you?
Number one.
Where can we find you?
Go Twitter, find EthereumFair. You will find me and find our official Twitter there. You go to Chainlink, you go to chainlist.org, search that. You can find us, automatically connect. That's a very well-established one. You can also go to the exchanges like Huobi or other exchanges, P-Chain, or you can find the official announcements.
Yep.
Please be very careful. And we found there are some fake chains. Use our names to do some bad things. Be very careful about that.
Okay, awesome. So if anybody has any more questions in the live chat from Huobi Global, now is the time to do so. Yes, I am watching the live chat. Manisha is saying Ducko is watching us. So yes, I am watching. I'm always watching. I have eyes everywhere. So Dr. Ran, please tell us, are there any big plans for partnerships? What can we expect from that side of things?
Yeah, good question. So we actually set aside 6 million ETHF tokens to encourage partners and the protocols. No matter you are a builder, a user, or a journalist or a media, feel free to come to our official Twitter and connect us. You can also directly at me on Twitter so that I can forward the information to there, because I'm also in the ecosystem grant team. We have 3 different kind of grants. Number one is that if you just have a cool idea, you're a cool dude, you just come here and say, hey, I want to play something cool. Sure, we can do that. You KOL, we can do that. Or you say, hey, we have a product, we have a established history, we want to deploy our protocol here. Sure, we can either provide you liquidity or even invest. So that's the 3 different kind of grants and engagements that we want to provide to the ecosystem.
Okay.
If you want to know more details, find you so that you can recommend them to us, or find us on Twitter, the official EthereumFair Twitter accounts. Just to send a message. We will have someone return to you in 24 hours.
All right, so EthereumFair it is, and the website was EthereumFair.io, was it?
.org.
.org. Okay, EthereumFair.org. Please feel free to go check it out, and you do have your socials listed there on the official site. You said.
Yes, please follow our Twitter, and we have like all kinds of activities. There are like pretty much 100 tweets a day, something like that.
Nice. So to anybody watching who's interested in finding out more, please check out EthereumFair.org. And for any crypto brands out there who maybe, or people associated with them or are involved with one and looking for potential collaboration partnership, then you can also visit EthereumFair.org and contact Dr. Ran and talk some juicy talk, and maybe you guys can talk some business. Even if you have a bright idea, Dr. Ran is interested in hearing from you. And that goes to everybody watching in the live chat box in the official Huobi Global app and on YouTube Live. So without further ado, I'd like to say thank you for that question, Zeus Prim. And again, if there's any more questions in the live chat, feel free, because now is the very last time to do so. So, Dr. Ran, what is
Yes, sir.
the next step for you and ETHF moving forward from here? What can we expect
Yeah,
in the near
I'm
future?
a kind of the builder role, so I read code, design product, talk to engage and invest. So my next goal, of course, I set a tiny goal for myself. I'm going to bring like 100 Web3 projects to Ethereum
How many?
and 100
100?
in the next year. Yes, and I really want this to not only stay in Ethereum app. I want them to go out to work with our layer twos, to work with other layer ones, so that we really can have some fair and safe PoW system on this planet. That's my vision.
So this would fall underneath your plans for big partnerships then, wouldn't it?
Yes, right now we are closely engaging with exchanges, and the next step right now I think we got a pretty positive response from them. Thank you for Huobi and all the other exchanges, because liquidity is everything, right? So that's number one. Number two is that we have to create projects, create, and to attract more users, because I want the next mass adoption to happen now, and I want ETHF to be ready. That's what Song always tell us. We really want to open arm to all the good and cool Web3 and NFT projects.
At least now you know.
ETHF.
At least now you know that with the ETHF finally launched, that you will be active around the next Bitcoin halving, and we know there's a lot of activity, a lot of excitement, a lot of hype, a lot of things are happening in the lead up to each Bitcoin halving, especially in the 6 months before it happens, and then maybe on average 150 days after that, we tend to see some pretty big explosions as well. So does that add more to the more excitement for you, knowing that, all right, now this is it, we're out, we're public, we're active, and bring on the next round of hype? Bitcoin halving is coming soon.
It's coming soon, and we just want to make sure that everyone, especially us, we are ready for the next 100 times of ecosystem growth.
Because it really does have an impact on the majority of the cryptocurrencies out there, not just Bitcoin. When I talk about the hype, I'm talking about the whole market. Like, things just move quickly, and there's a lot of hype and a lot of excitement there. So while we're here, is there anything else you wish to talk about and tell the Huobi Global audience?
Yeah, sure. So my suggestion is that come to our social media platform and follow the most recent progress. I know that there are some big cool things coming in the next few weeks, and I definitely don't want each of you to miss this opportunity to capture the value of that. If you happen to be a developer, come to build with us. More than welcome.
Yep.
And that's pretty much all I want to say today. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome. Now, I'm going through the official Huobi Global app live chat just quickly. We have 44 OKFOD asking, so is ETHF now available at exchanges?
We are in a couple of major exchanges, such as like Huobi, and we are working with almost like 50% of the top 20 exchanges, because the merge just happened 2 weeks ago. So I'm thinking I just checked my calendar, and it looks like we have 5 coming this week, and we have another couple coming next week. After that, you will be able to see us in many exchanges. Right now, P-Chain, Huobi, and we are working with BMart and some other major exchanges.
Okay, cool.
FrankenGate are on the way. So just again, join our Discord, follow our Telegram, join our Telegram, and just wait for this good news to come.
Yes. Now, Manish in the live chat box is saying or asking, sir, where do you see the ETHF future? Is it a good investment? Now, before you say anything, Dr. Ran, before we went live, Dr. Ran warned me, no speculative questions. And I said to him, all right, my first question will be, when Moon, when Lambo? So, and I'm not lying, we did have this conversation. So, Manish, you'll get the answer you expect to hear, really, and it's going to be a good one.
Come to participate. You will get the answer for yourself. It's the ecosystem will grow minimum 100 times of the whole ecosystem.
Yeah. So
very soon.
A very bright and ambitious future ahead indeed. Now, Dana's GM in the live chat is also asking, what is your future improvements in your project? I think you've sort of covered this already, but is there anything else you wish to add to that?
Yeah, because after the merge, we cannot just take whatever Ethereum Foundation is developing, all these EIPs. We'll have our own EFIPs, and we'll have our own innovations because we want to optimize the PoW system. And also, we also want to learn from Ethereum and support all kinds of layer 2 and maybe even layer 3 to grow the scalability of the system. So that's two major directions of the innovation. That's the what we are doing right now in terms of developers.
Nice. Zeus Prim is saying, with faith, you complete a lot of things in life. So in my heart, I say, long live ETHF. You have a fan.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Appreciate that.
And I'm just scrolling one more time through the live chat for any more comments or questions. Okay. Danas is asking, can we expect NFTs from ETHF? That's an interesting question.
That's an interesting question. Yeah. It so far as long as the merge happened, the two are very independent tokens right now. So one of them is POS, the other is POW. I can only guarantee that the states are the same at the merge. But right now, still the price for ETHF is very low, which I take as a good news because it's time to come and build.
Okay. Awesome. Right. I think that's about it for this evening, Dr. Ran. We're out of questions.
It's quite something. I enjoyed every single moment.
Me too.
With you and with our Huobi community. Great community.
Me too. And I'm glad we got to slide in a couple of questions from the community as well, because we don't always get the chance to do that. So thank you to everybody watching and in the live chat box who contributed to the live questions. All your questions are fantastic. Some people fear, should I ask this question or is it a dumb question? The only dumb question is the one that's never asked. So thank you to everybody for contributing to that and getting your questions out there and your questions in. Answers in. Awesome. Dr. Ran, anything else before we give this a wrap?
I'm pretty cool right now. Just follow us and join our Telegram. There's a lot of big announcements happening every day. Awesome.
Will do. And thank you so much once again for coming on board to Huobi Global Live. Hopefully we get to see you again in the near future with some news and updates and just some general crypto talk.
Definitely.
I really look forward to doing that. And again, thank you to everybody watching once again in the official Huobi Global app and on YouTube Live. So without further ado, until next time, please be safe, be healthy, trade wise, and as always, rock on.
Rock on. Thank you.
Yeah.